Tell me. Oh, hey, it's me. Who tell me? The guys with the five eyes that you see. Man, I hate the delay when it comes to recording like screen videos on Macs. I hate Macs in general, dude. Like I gotta record with my mic away from the computer because the fan is like just going crazy right now. So sorry if you hear it, but hopefully it's just background noise. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about how the Fresh and Fit podcast, my prediction came true. The women are getting more and more boisterous. They're getting more like, bold. And eventually it's going to come bite these dudes in the ass because they're trying to show out to everybody like we get all the bad chicks on the show. And look, these women represent women as a whole. So the first thing I noticed on the show and how women are basically going to give these dudes trouble was when a couple weeks back they had two women on the show, some light skinned chick who looks like that one adult star who's like light skinned with the braids or the dreads. I know some of you guys know what I'm talking about. And her white bimbo, big booby looking friend. They kicked the white bimbo off, and then they were kicking her off, even though I kind of think like, she didn't really need to get kicked off. But anyways, and she was arguing with him for like a solid 5 minutes, and she did not want to leave, and they were finna call the cops to get her out of there. And I knew from that moment on, like, it's only going to get worse. And then another time, this chick was on there, like, because I think they kicked someone else off. They kicked another chick off. And this other chick was talking about, buy Dogecoin, I made this much, blah, blah, much. And I was like, man, you never know about these legal loopholes, bro. Like because that's why a lot of people on YouTube and stuff, they say I'm not a financial advisor first, because you could get wrapped up with that talking about go buy this online, and someone could be like, hey, I lost a lot of money because of what that girl said. I got excited, got some Dogecoin, I lost $4,000. You guys need to compensate me. And then the court would be like, well, there was no mention of not being a legal advisor, and she said it on your show. And the girl could be like, well, it was on her show, their show, yada yada, they're responsible. You never know, right? So that's the thing about these guys. Like, I understand what they're trying to do to help men out, but their egos and the egos are getting to their head. And honestly, they're acting like the women that they keep talking about. Because if you watch the show, you understand that they have all these fine bimbos on there. They'll never have no professional women. They'll never have no teachers, no doctors, no lawyers. I know there's plenty of them in Dade County. I've got a friend. Shout out to Zahira. Yeah, Zahira. I'm saying her name right. She is working on the Dade County Public School Administration Board or whatever at their building. All I saw was at their building. And she was also a teacher there, and she's genuinely trying to help the children. And I'm pretty sure the next man she gets with is probably going to be that guy. But they won't talk to her. Now, why won't they talk to her? It's because she's a simple woman who's not about like this getting the bag thing. Because if she wanted to, she could have had plenty of bags from plenty of dudes. She could have, if she did OnlyFans, she'd rock that shit. But she doesn't, because she's focused on the bigger picture of society. And that's the issue about this red pill, is that it's very feminine in the way that they're two-dimensional thinkers. Many of these red pill guys are two-dimensional thinkers. They think either women are whores or they're virgins. They think either dudes are players or they're virgins. They think, like only a few, like 80% of the women are only having sex with 20% of the men. They never consider that, 80% of the men, damn near 100% of the men they really want like 20% of the top women too. It goes both ways. That's really what life is. Like, everything for the most part goes both ways. Even things like domestic violence and stuff. Of course there are things that are skewed towards one gender versus the other, but for the most part, things have a gray area. And the red pill does not teach men that with women, you need to just find the gray area of women as a whole, whether it be their personality, whether it be their lifestyle, whether it be, you need to find women that exist kind of in that middle ground where they're not like, completely promiscuous and this and that, but also not completely stuck up and stubborn and closed off and everything. But they don't teach you that. And you can see, for example, here, they want you to think that these women are the women, like, are all women. when they say 80% of the women want 20% of the men, no, it's this percentage of women that want 20%, that truly go after 20% of the men. And they play upon men's lust for these women instead of teaching them, no, you've got to temper your lust for these women because they're not really worth it, you know. So, anyways, gonna play the video. Damn, took me 5 minutes to explain that. But here we go. Oh.
Chick that's a peasant or makes less money than them or whatever. You're saying who would do that? Men easily date down. Like, men don't care about how much money a woman makes.
A man that high value won't look at it.
That's not true. That's not true at all.
Myron, finish your point.
Yeah. So anyway, to finish my point, men that are of a higher status, they will definitely date a girl below them financially and socially. It's just the way it is. Women don't do that way. You know what I'm saying? So.
And see, that's one thing they gotta really start harping on. Like, yes, most men will quote unquote date down with women, but if we really look at how most high value men date, it's not like they're dating that much down. They never really specify that. Like my grandfather, for example, has been a high value man since the 80s. He's been a doctor. You know, he's a doctor. The woman he dated and married eventually, my grandmother, it wasn't like she wasn't doing nothing either. Like, she was a nurse. She even worked in the military for a little bit. She was doing her own thing, you know. And she even wanted to keep working when they got together, but, you know, he had enough means to keep her as a housewife. But it just goes to show, like, and think about how, like, most, like, you know, Kevin Samuels talks about this a lot. A lot of women go to college to find husbands, you know. A lot of high value males date down to a certain degree, but these dudes will make you think that a dude earning like $600,000 is finna go pick up a chick at McDonald's. For the most part, no. He's probably going to pick up a woman like in high class establishments and everything like that, you know. And if we being real, women are okay with dating down, okay? Like, in the extreme sense, yes, every woman wants a dude who's rich. And I guess most rich women kind of want a dude in that rich range. But most of us are not rich. Most of us are normal. A chick making $45,000 a year probably is going to take a dude making $35,000. Because, I mean, honestly, after tax, you get taxed more in the first place. And most people don't even keep up with their finances like that to understand that.
And I'll tell you this, the more money a man makes, the less inclined he's going to be to want to grow on his level.
Yes. All
right, you gotta go, man. You gotta go. You gotta go. You're wild.
Wait, what? She was doing that though.
Nah, she wasn't.
Now, see, look, here's where the conflict happens, and this is the issues with. I mean, because honestly, these dudes are just stubborn as hell. Like, you keep putting these bimbo chicks on the show. What do you expect is going to happen? At what point do you say to yourself, okay, we can't keep doing this whole kicking these girls out the show because they're increasingly getting more confrontational. They're getting really loud. And in this episode, chick puts her hands on them.
But we was doing that though.
Listen, there's no argument. She's leaving. If you want to leave, you can leave with her.
I thought we was doing that though. We was having a debate. It should be a friendly debate.
No, she keeps cutting me off, just like you've been earlier.
But it should be a friendly debate. I don't think anybody was cutting anybody off.
There's nothing for debate right now. She's getting kicked out. If you want to leave, you can leave with her too.
I mean, I have no choice but to leave with her too. So
okay, then get out.
I'm not gonna get nothing out unless you call the fucking police if you're talking to me like that.
You're gonna get out right now.
You're gonna call the police if you're talking to me like that.
You're gonna get out.
You're gonna call the police.
See, bruh, he, you know, it's funny. They be like, don't argue with women. Don't talk back to women. What you say is what you say. And it's like, bruh, this bruh is literally arguing with her. And he's like, get out. Like, she told you, call the police. Why are you saying get out over and over and over again? You sound like a woman.
If you're talking to me like that,
my place, you're gonna get the
fuck out. You're gonna call the police. If you're talking to me like that,
I'm gonna sit my wife down.
Yeah.
We will call the cops. You go look stupid getting kicked off on air by the police.
Go ahead, do that.
And see, this dude's arguing with her. Like, bruh, these dudes, like, they're of that class of guys in the red pill where they pick up a lot of fine chicks, but, like, if you think about it, they can only really give you advice about how to deal with women casually. What if you want to deal with a woman seriously? They can't give you that kind of advice because they don't date women seriously. They're not married. They don't got girlfriends. They're not in steady relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're really gonna get good advice about like dating women, a person like me, I'm a good example on like how to teach you how to date women for a long time, and I probably should gear some of my content towards that. Now, why? Because I didn't do a lot of casual like sex every now and then, but I kept myself disciplined because after I broke up with my first girlfriend, I wanted the next girlfriend I had to be my wife. And that's exactly what happened. And now I'm married. And I may not be able to give you complete advice about a marriage for years, but I can at least still tell you accurately what to look for when you're trying to date. And I can also tell you how to behave while you're dating and how to mold a woman to your liking, right? But these guys can't tell you that because all they do is smash these chicks. They smash these chicks and talk to them and then tell you these are the women that are smashing that small percentage of guys, but they never tell you that this is a small percentage of women, and a lot of women out there are really simple and want a guy that's just at least as good as them, which is a lot of women that are good as any guy because women on average make less than most men on average, even poor men.
Can we not do that?
Are these people really being like this because they fucking fab and fit? They call the police to get out.
Yeah, you are.
No, we're not.
Y'all gonna get out. Y'all gonna get out.
And no, I would like my waiver before I leave.
You're not gonna do shit because y'all sitting here recording a bitch. You guys can call the police.
See how things escalating?
Get out.
No, I want my waiver.
You guys can call the police to get
I
out.
want my waiver before I leave.
You ain't
I-
get
I'ma
Did we
just
see
call
this
the
picture out like this guy?
No, I'ma call the
Anyways,
police.
guys, welcome to behind the scenes. Y'all see all the tea.
And another thing, bro, these girls, these attention hoes, they love doing this when this stuff is going on. It's like, yo, just chill out because this is a real serious situation. Because you never know. Because see, another thing I just thought about, bro, these fresh and fit boys, they need to watch themselves because they don't know who she know. They don't know who she know. You get one of these ghetto ass chicks up on here and she get mad enough, she gonna be like, hey, Tay, man, come up here and fuck these niggas up, rob these niggas, shoot these niggas. I'm being dead serious. They're playing with fire with these chicks.
All the tea, all the juice.
Ladies' night.
What's going on, fella?
This is crazy.
So as you were
Real
talking
stuff.
about this,
So,
we in Miami, bitch.
Wait, what the fuck? Oh, give me all your rights.
So that's the part I really wanted to show you guys. So I think this is the first time a girl has actually tried to attack this guy. So everything what I predicted is coming true. So my next prediction is eventually at some point these guys are going to have to be like, they got to just really grow up, and they got to get real women on the show. Because I do predict eventually a chick is just not gonna give a shit, and she just gonna just wreck their equipment. That's what's coming next. Because she gave you a soft version when she threw whatever she threw at their thing, and imagine if she had a rock, or she picked up her shoe, or she just went over and sprayed got the alcohol and all over their equipment. And that's another thing too. They be letting these girls drink while they be talking and stuff, getting them drunk and shit like that. And you know how people get when they get inebriated? They don't be caring. They're really reckless on this show because they low-key want to show off to you guys, the audience, the red pillars. Hey, look, we got all these bad chicks up in here, and we're gonna tell you these chicks ain't shit. It's like, we already know that, bruh. How about, like, and it kind of makes no sense, too, if you think about it like this, too, because, like, basically, they're telling their audience, you smash these chicks and then try to get the good girls, but you never have any good girls on the show in the first place. So you're kind of encouraging most of your followers to be alone forever, smashing chicks. And to be quite frank, most of us would get tired of that by our 30s, definitely in our 40s. And would you even have the energy for that in your 50s? And then that's when a lot of men, I'd say not a lot, but that's when some men end up being like, damn, I wish I found a chick when I was younger because I'm kind of lonely right now. And I can't really date like no fine 20-year-old no more. You know, I got to stick with a little 40-something. You know what I'm saying? But they got to be careful because like I said, you don't know who these chicks know, Myron and Fresh, whatever your name is. It's like, bro, like, you piss one of these chicks off enough, niggas gonna be running up on your door. Cause y'all niggas I wouldn't fight you in a 1-on-1. Definitely not Myron. I can tell he probably whooped my ass. But if I got guns, that don't mean shit. Nick and honestly, the way they act, niggas would look at them as straight prey. Niggas, like, she might literally call some niggas to go up in there, steal your gaming chairs, or steal your computer screen, steal your cameras. They got a lot of shit worth stealing up in that bitch. That light box looks like it's at least like $80 to $100 minimum. Like I see they got multiple cameras set up. Niggas will come up in there and steal that shit, get a couple bands off of that stuff. And without a care in the world, and you just gonna be there looking silly, feeling dumb. And let's get to when the police come.
Yo, literally.
Oh my god. Maybe to her phone only. I don't think she went there.
She has her phone. We gave it to her right away.
With MailChimp's marketing smarts, you get a whole lot of creative smarts, recommendation smarts.
No, she's not getting away. She's not getting away. It's not. Wait, you ain't getting.
Y'all, this is the first time I drank.
No, she ain't not in there. No, you can't. No, you can't. No.
This is why.
And you gotta be a world star.
You see how long these chicks are staying there? Even with the police there?
Can Myron.
Oh no, we have the Hulk outside.
And see, again, it just also... And here's another thing, too. They called the police. At this point, the police need to do their job and be like, listen, you in this person's property. You need to leave right now or you're going to jail. Now, if Myron was the aggressor in this situation, he would have been fucked. And, it does... If there's one thing it does prove the double standard in society, right? But it just also goes to show, like, bro, like, even... the police are taking their time getting these chicks out of your place. Like, this, you're dealing with some shit you're not ready for.
So give me my waiver.
Yo, we talk, but they can do it.
Yeah.
Well, we got some space now, so we can move over a little bit. Yeah.
And see, look at these idiots, man. I mean, like, that's what, I'm just gonna I'm gonna do my ending remarks right here. I hope these guys stay safe. That's all I really hope. Because if you think about it, this show is like, it appeals to the lowest denominator in men. They really just have those chicks that kind of show off that they can have fine chicks out of Miami there. But there's nothing there for men to learn other than have sex with these chicks. Don't wife them. More than likely, they only want rich guys. And more than likely, they'll only use rich guys. That's the gist of the whole show. Now, I will say that's not the only aspect of the whole show. Because these are just when they have girls on. They also, talk about general things. They have podcasts where it's just him, Myron and Fresh. So, don't get it twisted. This ain't the whole thing of the show. But this is the popular aspect of the show. This is what gets the views. This is the identity of this show. And they are selling you a dream. Men, especially black men. This is entertainment. This is not education. Okay? I mean, just think about the amount of pretty women you've ever really known in your life. Most of us man. That's another thing dealing with Max. I was looking ugly in that. Ugly. But it's not like I try to keep my identity secret anyway. But that's why I hate about Max. All this connectivity. It's horrible. But anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, they're selling you, like, you know, it's entertainment. It's not education. Most of us haven't even dated a lot of pretty women we've been around for that long and everything. And a lot of the really fine women, you know, we really only see them in magazines, or we see them on Instagram. These chicks that they talk about, you're realistically, most of us are not going to interact with these chicks that fall into the 80-20. You know, it's really not that hard to get a relationship. It's not that hard to get a good woman out there. You know, in general, you just have to put in the work, and you have to have common sense. And that's what they don't be teaching people. They be making it seem like every girl out there is trying to get a bag. Every girl out there is hustling for the top 20%. And that's just not true. It isn't. I've met plenty of girls that were dateable. And I found a wife. Ironically, I found her off of Tinder. But, you know, if I really tried, I could have honestly just walked up on a girl. Could have cold approached. Got her number, and that's it. You know? But these dudes only teach you how to fuck women. They don't teach you how to really interact with women. They don't teach you how, like, having women as friends is not as bad as it seems. Because the thing is, you gotta stop thinking with your dick. Life is not just about sex. We have the thought process that we do for a reason. We can think beyond that. These dudes teach you how to think with your primal brain. And they're getting primal energy from these women because they keep dealing with that intellectual lameness, which is a term I'm coming up with. These women are intellectually lame. So they're going to act like chimpanzees and baboons and stuff. And hey, that's not racist. I'm not saying it because those girls are black. I'm talking about all those chicks. Because that's the denominator they appeal to. They appeal to the have sex part of your brain. And that's it. That's why they don't have no real professional women on there. That's why they don't have no chicks that are housewives. That's why they don't have no couples on there for the most part. Because it would honestly just expose to a lot of their followers that the shit that they be preaching ain't really what it seems. But anyways, I hope this video was good enough for you guys. I'll see you next time on the Ooey Told Me podcast. No, I'm not going to call it that. Okay, for real. See you guys later.